Obi-Wan Kenobi rides through the deserts of Tatooine in the coolness of dark. A storm has passed and he seeks out new supplies and is on his way to trade with the Jawas, keeping his lightsaber close to him due to possible threats at this hour of night. Unbeknownst to the Jedi, at the same time a squadron of Imperial Stormtroopers are out searching for supplies of their own, which they believe were stolen by Tusken raiders from their outpost on the sandy planet. The troopers had been ordered to retrieve their supplies from the Tuskens and exterminate the thieves, though one of the troopers, JM-909, didn't seem too eager to exterminate anyone, which showed in his voice as he questioned this order from his commander. He does, however, assure his superior that none will be left alive. Under the dark sky, the troopers stumble across a Tusken camp, where they see some of their stolen supplies. They spot movement and open fire, only to see what they were firing upon was a decoy made to resemble a Tusken raider. With the troopers' guard down, the real Tuskens begin firing on their enemies, killing or injuring many of them. Obi-Wan hears the echoes of Imperial blasters and screams of the Tuskens until everything becomes quiet once more. He takes shelter and witnesses the group of Tuskens pass by with the fallen troopers' blasters in their possession. Obi-Wan knows who came out on top in this particular battle. Obi-Wan journeys to the site of the skirmish, and as he sees the bodies of dead troopers, he is reminded of the clones he fought alongside all those years ago. He hears a faint cough and turns to see one of the stormtroopers is still alive. Obi-Wan removes the helmet of what appears to be a young man, far removed from the likes of a clone, but just as abused by the larger galactic empire. Citing his master Qui-Gon's teachings to provide help, render aid, and to protect and preserve life, Obi-Wan takes the trooper back to his home in the Junlin Wastes. The trooper attempts to escape only to stumble and bump his head, knocking him unconscious, only to awaken 3 days later in front of the Jedi legend. "Hello there," Obi-Wan naturally says. "3 days have passed, but you're healing well. Your chest plate took the brunt of the blast." Obi-Wan inquires about the man's name, who says it is JM-909. Obi-Wan sips a hot drink as he ponders. "Perhaps Jim, then. I'm Ben." Jim snatches Obi-Wan's saber and ignites it, pointing it towards the Jedi. "I am not your friend, Ben," he says somewhat mockingly. "Take it if you'd like," Obi-Wan replies. "These deserts can be quite unkind to one without the proper tools." Jim begins to panic and drops the blue-bladed weapon and runs out of Obi-Wan's house and into the hot desert. Jim manages to return to the Imperial base on Tatooine, where he is belittled by his superior for not recovering any of their supplies, as well as allowing 6 troopers to die. Jim returns to his barracks and quietly speaks Ben's name with an emotional expression on his face before slipping his helmet back onto his head. While we may not know exactly what happens to the trooper next, it is entirely possible that this small act of kindness from Obi-Wan may have allowed Jim to see his errors and get out from under the thumb of the Empire. We may not know Jim's fate, but it is nice to see Obi-Wan committing this act of selflessness, saving the life of another even though they were on 2 very different sides. In the final pages of this comic, we get to read Obi-Wan's thoughts as he writes them down in his journal. All of us grope in the dark, looking for light to guide us, hoping something will illuminate the correct path we should take. But we honestly never know where our chosen path will take us. The storm has passed, but I know another lays on the horizon. I feel that my time here may be drawing to an end. For these long and desolate years, I have often felt alone, but truthfully, I never have been. And because the Force is my guide, I never will be. For none of us is alone, even in our darkest hour.